Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Skai Jackson's baby daddy, Yerkky is back, disturbing my peace. This boy irritates the hell out of me. Because he really thinks he's that guy now. He's like really out here being a streamer based off of his connections to Skai. So he's addressing the haters, okay, while he's live streaming once again. He's trying to promote his new music. She really fucked up even getting with this guy, I swear. So let's watch Yerkky.
What up, Liz? Why they say it's time to... hold on. They sound like get your baby dad. Get the fuck off my live talking about some bullshit. Get my dick out your mouth. How about that? How about that?
When it's time to start your
My diggling out your mouth, bitch.
Shopify. Get everything you need to go from lawn.
Come on, damn nigga. Y'all zoning. Go. Go.
Go. I don't let my buddy did kill your bitch ass right. Go. You ever lost your best friend, that shit hurt. I'm deep up in the streets, I don't care who I get murdered. I lost my heart, I lost my soul up in this shit. This rap shit got me legit. When I found out I lost Z, I can cry and grab my stick. I was spinning through that shit, we
What up, Liz? Why they say it's time to... hold on. They sound like get your baby dad. Get the fuck off my live talking about some bullshit. Get my dick out your mouth. How about that? How about that?
All right, sir. You ain't got to tell me twice to get your dick out my mouth. Objection. First of all, poor Skai. And it's, I can't feel too bad for her because she literally met him in prison. I mean, she was free, but he was locked up. She was putting money on his books. She wanted a bad boy. This man has just tainted her brand so bad. Yerkky, jerky, turkey herky, jerk off, whatever he wants to call himself. It's just bad. He's out here smoking weed on camera. He thinks he's a live streamer. He wants to be the new Kai Cenat. All this off of her brand. And this is why I tell people, date in private, break up in private. Don't attach these guys to your brand. A lot of them are dusty, and they want to chase you for clout. If you have a brand, if you're building something, do not attach these men to your brand. There's a white girl going through it. Who's the white girl? Y'all put her name in the chat. Emily was telling me all about it. I went to go research the story. The one who was getting her ass whooped by the guy she put on TikTok, and then the guy said that James Charles was trying to fuck him. Y'all know who I'm talking about? Y'all write her name in the chat because I can't think of her name. She's a white girl. Her boyfriend beat her. And then he was low-key smashing, allegedly, James Charles. It was all over white TikTok. Bad baby. Bad baby is a Stockholm Syndrome having dumbass. Alexis and Julius. Yes. Alexis and Julius. They're like a TikTok couple. So this girl, not Michaela, the white girl on TikTok, basically, she started her brand.
My diggling out your mouth, bitch.
Sorry, I keep hitting this ear pod. She started her brand, right? She got like millions of followers. So she started dating this guy. And he didn't really have a following on social media. So they were doing, the couple goal. We're a couple, we're in love, we're cute. They were doing like the TikTok couple goal shit. Like, that young people do. Get it how you live. Is her name Kayla? Not Michaela. What's her name? Michaela May. Yeah, okay, hold on. Somebody put her last name. Michaela Melback. Let me Google. It was a whole thing on white TikTok. Yeah. Here she is.
Now that Kayla Malick's boyfriend has finally responded, the situation with Kayla is even more scarier than we thought. So for context, the situation with Kayla Malick has been going viral after the disgusting things that her boyfriend Evan has been doing to her for the past few months. Kayla has over 15 million followers and has finally broken her silence on what her boyfriend did off camera. And it is disgusting. But this is where it gets even more worser. Kayla just put out part 1 of her video explaining her side of the story, where she not only said but showed evidence of her boyfriend DVing her. Even more sadder, people are in Kayla's comments saying that they don't believe her and that she's just doing this for attention, which makes me sick to my stomach. Because in so many videos, not only can you see the signs, videos of the aftermath of him punching walls, destroying Kayla's bedroom, video where she says, "You broke my jaw," even when she flinched during this tortilla video. But this is where it gets more worser. Evan was just arrested over the weekend and had a bail set to $30,000. Now that we know who allegedly bailed Evan out, now Evan has responded by deleting all of his social media accounts, and as of now, this is all alleged, and my heart goes out to Kayla because nobody deserves to go through this. What do you think of this entire situation?
All right. Thank you, Piff. Let me see.
Internet.
I'll see you never. Matter of fact, you wake up the link on God.
For what? For what? For what?
You're a slut. You're a whore. I got TikTok, but damn my pussy's hella stretchy. Damn my pussy's hella smelly. Damn my pussy's hella purple.
All right, so that's the tea that was going on. It's sad. She had 15 million followers. This dude barely had any. And like the typical narcissist energy vampire, he wanted her lifestyle. He was jealous of her lifestyle, came in with sweet intentions and sweet words, and then his mask came off, like most narcissists do. And he started abusing her, DVing her, and he basically built his whole brand off of hers. So that's what I was saying. These young girls need to understand all this couple goal shit, date in private. Stop attaching these dudes to your brand, to what you built. Because if Skai Jackson would have just dated him in private, she'd be good. We wouldn't know who a Yerkky, it wouldn't be none of our business. But when you're trying to do this whole social media couple goals and my man, and then they end up being the wrong type of man, that is what can fuck up everything you've built. Because this man got her brand looking crazy right now. He's on the internet telling folks to suck his peen and get out his business and, flashing guns and everything else. It's insane. It's insane. And then I noticed, talking about what the hell he... You know what I mean? She came out talking about he was whooping her ass behind the scenes. I believe her. These dudes be terrorizers behind the scenes, especially these narcissists. A lot of them are not even narcissists. They're sociopaths. Demonic. These people, like we talked about yesterday in the Zoom meeting, a lot of these narcissists and these sociopaths, these are demons walking in human flesh. They're actually demons. The things that they're doing, they're being led through demonic activity. And like I told y'all on Zoom yesterday, a lot of times when you're, a good person, you have a good heart, you got a good light around you, you're a chosen one, whatever, the devil will send demonic people, narcissists, malevolent people to test you. Anytime you deal with a narcissist, anytime you deal with just wicked people like that, that is a test. That is a spiritual test for your spirit. That's why I said things are way deeper. We always look at things in the physical. You got to understand that a lot of people, they're attached to generational curses. Not only are they demonic, everybody around them, their friends, their family, they all move with the same spirit. Look at Yerkky's family. Mama in jail. His big brother's in jail. He's in and out of jail. These were all red flags that Skai was ignoring. It's sad. And then, when I did the video about Skai and, the whole abuse thing, I saw a lot of comments. People saying, her, Kiki Palmer, can I just keep Haley Bailey? What's her name? Holly. I'm going to keep her out of the conversation because she's a celebrity in DDG. Regardless, he had his own. He had his own platform, had his own, social media situation before he met her. So I'm not going to put them in the mix. But I'm going to say for Kiki and for... I would not be using these earbuds again. They're getting on my nerves. Every time you touch them, they play. I'm going to leave Holly and DDG out of this. But for Keke Palmer and for Skai, one of the things I kept noticing that people were saying, they kept saying, why didn't they choose better? They had access to so many eligible, upper echelon black men in the industry. So many black men in the industry they could have been with. They just wanted light-skinned kids. And so as I'm seeing those comments, I'm saying to myself, can we have a real conversation here? Because it's very easy to say, why didn't they choose better? They could have chose other black men in the industry. But let's have a real conversation. As beautiful as both of those women are, they're both dark-skinned black women. How many black men in the industry would honestly be checking for them outside of sex? See, that's a conversation people are not willing to have. You think Keke Palmer, as many connections that she has, she can sing, she can dance, been in the industry for years. Do you think that she doesn't want a chance to date a football player or a basketball player? But are those opportunities afforded to women like her? Can I keep a real objection? Travis Hunter, didn't he just marry that Latina who acts like she's disgusted by him anytime he gets close to her? He was more excited during the wedding than she was. I couldn't tell who the bride and who the groom was. She kept her motherfucking cool. He was willing to marry her as much as she has disrespected him publicly and privately and admitted that she wasn't attracted to him until she found out who he was. Then all of a sudden he became somewhat attractive. And that's the truth of the matter, is that a lot of women like Skai and Keke, they don't even get those opportunities. Even if they go to these guys and say, I really like you, I want to be with you, they're not exotical enough. They remind them of the women that they had access to when they didn't have shit. But once that they're up here and they're celebrities and they have a name for themselves, they have to upgrade to a baddie, and that baddie has to look a certain way. No shade, I'm just speaking facts. She needs to be racially ambiguous, mixed, white, Latina, Asian. So it's very easy to say, why didn't they? But were these choices even available to women that look like Keke and Skai? Now, I'm not saying they need to jump off in the deep end and get with a damn Yerkky turkey jerky. I'm not saying that. She didn't have to go that damn gutter. She could have found a regular average Joe who was a plumber, construction worker who, handled business. So I'm not saying she had to go that low. But a lot of those opportunities, because, people kept comparing them to Zendaya. But people don't understand Zendaya, you can't compare a biracial woman who's been nothing but praised in Hollywood, elevated. She's never going to find herself in that situation. She's going to have the top choice of every eligible bachelor in the community, simply based off of the genetic lottery. Nobody can control their parents. Nobody can control what they look like. So this is not me shading light skin, but y'all know I don't do that. I don't do the colorism thing on my channel. This is not me shading anybody. I'm just speaking truth. Zendaya is going to have access to a certain type of man just simply based on the fact that she's biracial, where those same options are not going to be available to a Keke or a Skai Jackson. I'm not saying always, but more times than not, they're not going to have the same access to those level of men. Those level of men are not going to be checking for them. It's sad, but it's true. Yeah, colorism, texturism, featureism, it plays, and they're in Hollywood. It plays a big part. But again, they should have chose a little bit better, but just also understand that we had to have an honest dialogue. Were those options there for them to even be able to choose? So yeah, it's sad. And then even when you have these Black relationships, look at Teyana Taylor, look at Remy Ma, and look what they had to put up with. And for years, Teyana put Iman on a pedestal. So much so that they went on a hobo tour, bragging about busting other bitches down. If a man really loves you and you are his wife, even if that's what y'all do behind the scenes, he would never want you bragging about that publicly. She bragged about that publicly to feed his narcissistic ego, because it made him look like he's the man. All the bitches want me. Nobody was checking for Iman Shumpert like that. He's a decent basketball player. I'll never take that away from him. But he really elevated in the Hollywood sphere because of Teyana Taylor. And look how she had to come out and tell everything in that live stream. How she was paying the bills. He didn't want to pay for medical for the kids, daycare, everything else. So even when we get in these relationships, we still can't fucking rest as Black women. We're still expected to hold things down, hold it together, hold people up, pay for this, help out with that. Can't do it. You can't do it. And then when you finally wake up and you want to move on, then here comes the slander and the gaslighting and the manipulation. Look at everything he's done to Teyana, and she held him down. She got him that job on whatever TV show it was. She did so much behind the scenes to help him because that was her husband, the father of her children. And then what does he do? Turns around, stabs her in the back, files it publicly so, all their business can be out there. So much so that she had to come and admit all of this to us, the public, when it shouldn't have been any of our business. Look how Remy Ma for years, and I blame Remy Ma too, held down Papoose, said that Papoose was, A1 sauce. He's a good Black man, Savannah. This is Black love, Savannah. He's a good man. He held me down. He came and saw me in prison every day. And now we're finding out the truth. He came to prison for that year. She was in there for damn near 6. So what happened in year 2 and 3? You never hear about those years, just that first year. They swore him down. He never cheated on her. He kept it in his pants. No man. No man is about to sit here and hold no woman down in prison. I never bought that he wasn't fucking something. And now the truth is coming out. Everything was on her. She had to pay the bills and keep the mortgage up. He's getting shows here and there. She's literally with the guy, a regular Joe, Easy the Block Captain. She said he makes $250,000 a year. He has, investments. He gets, battle rap money. She's more comfortable now with that than Papoose the celebrity. But again, like I said, I blame her because you put him on a pedestal to the public. So much so that now he can come out and he looks untouchable. Nobody wants to believe that Papoose is the terror behind the scenes because you propped him up so much. You made him seem like such a good man and everything was so pristine because y'all were more worried about social media optics, selling this Black love brand, and now it's come back to bite her in the ass. Because the majority of the internet are standing with Papoose. They're not believing anything Remy has to say. They're saying Remy's bitter. You're mad because he's moved on. He's found somebody younger. But people who understand narcissism, who understand how these people move, who understand spiritual battles, see what it is with Remy Ma and Papoose and Clarissa. I see the triangulation. Clarissa better run because he's an energy vampire. You think it's cute to mess with a married man? If he had any respect for you, he'd have been filed that paperwork. He wouldn't have had to wait till Remy Ma went online. They'd have been filed. Playing games. Playing games. Somebody called him pap smear. Damn. Not pap smear. Ooh, y'all are messy. Yeah, but that's why he's able to do it. That's why now he's able to come out and, oh, she's jealous. She doesn't want to see me happy because she put him on a pedestal so high up to the public. The public is not buying for the, just the general public is not buying what Remy Ma is selling. But like I said, if you're watching everything with a spiritual eye and you have discernment, you see the games that are being played. On both parts, because I'm not saying that Remy Ma is innocent. She definitely played a hand in this. She started messing with Easy the Black Captain and all that stuff. But there's definitely some terrorizing going on behind the scenes. So, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.